Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, CH266, aka Vanity Pride. Today, of course, we're taking a look at Tower of God, Season 2, Episode 266. It was a short chapter, so in turn, this review will go pretty quick and easy as well. So jumping right into it, we start off in the quarantine area with Bomb, Andrasi, and Coffee Addict, and they're going up this spiral staircase. As they are ascending these steps, Coffee Addict tells them more about sworn enemies. So basically, they are going to show up pretty soon, and even if you kill them off, they will continue to reappear. Because in their case, they are considered quarantined, and they are considered, of course, a threat to the hidden floor. So this is why the enemies will just keep regenerating and reappearing. And it got me thinking that, okay, we are bound to see a darker version of Veal, because if you think about it, Bomb is so anti-killing and he wants to save everybody, regardless of whether it's a friend or someone he just met or some innocent bystander. You know how he is. So it's going to be interesting to see Veal, if he keeps having to reappear every time he gets killed off. It's just going to be really interesting to see a side of Veal that we're not used to seeing. Because in this case, this sworn enemy is going to keep attacking, which is something that Bomb wouldn't necessarily do. There are some exceptions. Obviously, he's going to attack people that, are trying to hurt his friends. Or I even thought about the beginning of season 2, where Veal had to, kill off all these people, because if he didn't do it, then his friends would pay the price. So it just all depended on the situation. But anyway, enough about that. Coffee Addict also says that if they aren't careful, they might not ever leave this place, which shocks Bomb and Andrasi. And just as they're going to ask him what he means by that, Bomb senses someone coming behind them, and of course it is Veal. And so Bomb and Veal meet, which is really interesting. Alrighty, so then we segue to Kun and the group, and I swear, when I saw this image, I was immediately thinking, oh my god, it's Chibi Rock. Chibi Rock is back, and he's just as adorable as ever. And then you can tell that Kun is tired out, he's huffing, and he's how far away is this frickin' town? Because this mountain looks more massive right now than it was from further away. And the girl's just all oh, we'll be there soon. Don't you worry about it. So then Kun's didn't you say that before too? Or did I imagine it? I don't know if it's Kun. I'm assuming it is because they keep talking after that. But I'm just sitting here thinking this bitch is lying to them. Okay? She's like a freaking dad on a road trip, getting lost and not looking at the fucking map. That is basically the thought that ran through my head when we saw this scene. So anyway, I thought it was interesting that Kun asks, you've got better stamina than me, and I'm from the 10 great families. Is it because you're a data human? And she's well, I think I'm designed to have good stamina. Which kind of makes sense. I could definitely see that. And so then there's this monstrous, steel-looking dude that they encounter. Basically, his name is the Fruit of Good and Evil. Or at least, I guess, what he's holding in his hand. And so she goes on to explain what it is. Yes, it's a quarantined place for the most dangerous and evil people here, or those who may harm the balance of this floor. If we live a life that is evil rather than good, they say that the giant eats that fruit and breaks out of his shell to punish us. On the other hand, if someone lives a good life and wins in the fight against evil, that giant drags the fruit of good and evil into a very deep underworld, and is said to keep them from ever returning again. And the warriors who achieve that are then able to proceed to a higher level stage. So that's the setup, huh? That means you. Yes, I have actually cleared this stage many times with other warriors. What do you mean by this stage? Okay, so this is the part that cracked me up, because the moment I saw this card appear at the command of Kun's hand, I feel like I'd seen this card before. All right. So this is going to be a big drop here. I've never seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay? There's a lot of things I haven't seen. Y'all are going to call me aliens. But anyway, I did see a first episode of this parody abridged of Yu-Gi-Oh! At a con earlier this year. And so this card of Kuhn's reminds me of one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And of course my inner Berleezy was speaking out, and it's just like, what the hell is this? Is this Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm such a dork, guys. I'm sorry. Well, anyway. It's a cool concept because, you know, once you open up this menu here, let's call it. So right now they're at stage 0, and you can move on to other stages. And like as you progress, more stages will open up, basically. And so it was really cool because someone in the comments in Webtoons, they said that, oh, it's kind of like a video game. And even someone was saying like, oh, dude, they should make this a video game. Like, that would be rad. Which got me thinking, I'm like, dude, they have a game app, which I'm still trying to get. They have a Tower of God game app. So if they make like a Hidden Floor, a new kind of app game for Tower of God, that'd be super rad. Like, I'd be down to play it. So anyway, Kuhn gets the hint that they could meet the young Zahard somewhere within one of these upper stages. And then all of a sudden this girl says, guys, could you please check your right pocket? And they all find like these like pocket watches, which they aren't really pocket watches. They are a good and evil monitor, and it shows you what your level of good versus evil is. And so she goes on to explain, the more good things that you do, the more the black part on the graph disappears. If you get rid of the entire black part on the circle, you get a chance to eliminate the fruit of good and evil. But if you guys do evil things, the black portion of the graph increases. And if the black portion exceeds more than half of the circle, your sworn enemy starts pursuing you. Something very scary happens if the entire circle is black. So based on that, I'm like, Kuhn needs to do some evil shit, okay? Because I want to meet Daddy Kuhn. I mean, I want to meet Edwan. Which Kuhn is technically Daddy already. Kuhn Aggoro's Daddy. I guess he's like Daddy Jr. So Edwan is Daddy Sr. Like, I want to meet Daddy Sr. So, let's get to it, Kuhn. Bring out your evil side. So, back to Bomb and the group. Of course, Viol keeps approaching him. And they eventually face off in battle. Which is really interesting. I mean, everyone was like hyped up to see this. It's crazy because Andrasi actually gets a scratch on her cheek because of this new Viol. And so she notices that his technique is the exact same as Bomb's. So it's going to be really intense and really interesting to see both of these people with the same techniques fighting against each other. Like, we don't know how long that's going to last. Plus, even if Bomb wins out Viol, Viol's going to keep regenerating. So it's going to be really, really intense. And of course, Coffee Addict has to come in at some point during the battle, and he's just all like, it looks like that person is your sworn enemy. I think it's your own self. No shit, Sherlock. He looks like a completely different person with that long hair. And seeing him like that for some reason, it makes me want to pick on him. So then Coffee Addict, he has like these like spikes. Remember those spikes we saw a few chapters back? That like those spikes were going to squash Andrasi and Bomb, but Coffee Addict saved them. So these same spikes are up on the ceiling, and Coffee Addict is going to bring that down on Viol. But, of course, Bomb shouts out, wait. Which, the minute he said wait, I knew he was going to save Viol. Like, he was not going to let Viol die. And so this brought me back to the scene with Kuhn earlier with that girl. Because she was talking about, like, the whole monitor thing. Like, if you do evil things, you know, it's gonna get blacker. Like, what's within, like, the pocket watch. And if you do good things more, then, you know, you'll have, like, that sparkly effect. That's gonna take up more of the pocket watch space. And, I mean, he'd never even heard this story. He wasn't there. But I feel like he's doing it to do something good in order to move forward. Because if he ends up getting a pocket watch at some point and it's black or, you know, like more than halfway black, then that's bad. probably because he's in quarantine, he's not going to get a pocket watch. I don't know if later on he would once he gets out of there. But I don't know. I just like saw these coincidences and, you know, kind of figured that I would share that with you guys. But really, speaking of quarantine, I feel like everyone would be put into quarantine. Like, wouldn't that need to happen? Because if this hidden floor is supposed to be protected, if it shouldn't get fucked up, I mean, any newcomers are gonna fuck it up somehow. So that's why I'm saying, like, why isn't everyone going to quarantine? Like, why isn't Rachel there? I'm pretty sure Rachel would try and fuck up some things. Why didn't Kun end up there? So, unless people are, like, kind of manipulating things in the background, but I don't know. So anyway, the chapter ends with Baum thinking that he would rather face off against his own enemy and not let anyone interfere. I feel he has a point, because what would happen if someone else kills off your own enemy, you know? I feel like there would be repercussions with that. So this is why he didn't allow Coffee Addict to kill him off. I mean, the help would be nice, I guess, so then you're not too tired out having to, like, fight off your own sworn enemy all the time. But at the same time, I feel like that's something that you yourself need to do. I mean, we didn't see Kun or anyone else interfering with Rock's enemy, trying to kill that enemy off. You know, Rock is trying to do that all his own. So I don't know if there's any consequences if someone else kills off your own sworn enemy. I do want to look through comments again and give proper credit to some of the comments that I mentioned earlier in the video. So I do want to start with this one from 25th Star. So does the other bomb also have a harem? I mean, if they're exactly the same, they may as well, right? Because I'm pretty sure, like, there's got to be someone who has, like, Andrasi as an enemy, right? But I don't know. We'll see. I just hope that there is an enemy Andrasi that is part of this bomb, or sworn enemy bomb harem. It's so confusing now to be saying bomb and viol and trying to, like, explain who's the sworn enemy and who's, like, the original, and it's just all over the place. It's all convoluted. Thank you, SIU, for fucking us up. All right. Okay, so Chaos Eternal RE is the person who said the hidden floor is basically a video game. Oh, okay, I loved this part of their comment, too. So the second part is, does that make Young Zahard the game's final boss? Which would be pretty cool. Pastrius, oh my gosh. Time to draw some self-cessed porn. Gotta laugh out of that. Alright, where's that other one? Oh yeah, Gian Estelle. Who else wants the hidden floor to become an actual video game? Yep, you have my vote, so. Alrighty guys, that concludes Season 2, Episode 266 of Tower of God. Concludes my review as well. So, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.